I literally was speechless when I read that because I could not figure out. I can't grasp. Move this. I can't grasp how asinine a concept you have to follow to rank Justin Herbert ahead of Jalen Hurts and or Tua Tagovailoa. Shady, the floor is yours. Do you have an issue with Herbert being ranked ahead of Hurts or Tua?
Now, before I answer this question, this is the career or this year?
I don't care how you do it. Answer however you want to answer.
If it's this year, I'm going with
No, answer
Jalen
careers
Hurts.
then.
Okay, so if it's career, I don't see nothing wrong with it. I got to agree with it. I mean, listen, despite how you feel, Justin Herbert has done things we haven't seen before. And he has the most yards out of any quarterback ever. Any quarterback you want to think about that you love, he has more yards than him in the first 2 years. Any quarterback. He has more passing touchdowns in the first 2 years of any quarterback. So we talk about what has he done, that's major. And the biggest point that I want to make, he doesn't play defense. You want to talk, your argument's going to be, I don't even know it, but I'm going to guess, that he doesn't win. He doesn't go to playoffs and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But as you watch a lot of the games, he does his part. He goes in there and scores touchdowns.
Sure.
And the defense, they don't hold up their end of the bargain, and they lose. And he doesn't play defense. So I'll just say this. He has twice as many touchdowns as Tua. Mm-hmm. Jalen Hurts is just getting going. He has way more stats than Jalen. So I got to give it to Herbert.
Ranking Herbert, and as a human being, I love you.
What is his facts, though? This is not me.
When it comes to this take, ludicrous. Justin Herbert has never been in an MVP conversation. Tua's in an MVP conversation. Jalen Hurts is in an MVP conversation. Justin Herbert has never made the playoffs. Jalen Hurts has made the playoffs, and Tua currently is sitting as a 2 seed overall. Justin Herbert has a whole bunch of statistics, but they are empty. It's like when you get that bag of chips and you open it up and you realize that you paid $6.99 for a bag of chips, but it's half empty. See, Justin Herbert's statistics are half empty. Touchdown passes, all of these touchdown passes, what's it amount to? All of these touchdown passes, what does it amount to? See, here is the problem with us in society. We think that a two-handed reverse windmill is worth more than a layup. A layup's 2 points, a reverse windmill's 2 points. So Justin Herbert's 60-yard dime pass is not worth more than Jalen Hurts' 6-minute drive methodically down the field.
I agree.
It's not worth more than Tua's play-action pass, finding Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle on a crosser.
I agree.
But we esteem it as if it's worth more. It makes no sense to me. I'm going to get a headache if I keep hitting myself in the side of the head that aggressively. But I do not understand how you can look at a man in Tua who has won 21 games in 30 games, and you can look at Justin Herbert who took him 43 games to win 21 games and try to say that Justin Herbert is better than Tua. And don't talk to me about defense. See, Chargers fans want to say, well, Justin Herbert's rush defense is the worst in football. Patrick Mahomes, it was the 31st worst in football last year. He found a way to win 13 games. The Packers, it was the 30th worst in football last year. He found a way to win 13 games. Stop talking to me about, the defense. And lastly, it's not lastly, but lastly for this take. If you were second in passing attempts, I would hope that you were second in yards. But he's not. He's second in pass attempts and fifth or sixth in yards. So even that math ain't mathing. I don't want to go to you, Dave, because I think I know where you're going. So I'm going to go to somebody that's going to bring me down a notch. Joy, do you have issue with Justin Herbert being ranked ahead of Jalen Hurts?
Yeah, I do. I'm not quite as outraged as you are. But I do have an issue with it because I see where you're going with all this with Justin Herbert. I'm trailing you. I'm not quite out in front of the campaign, but I'm trailing you on it because I do subscribe somewhat to the idea. No, I do subscribe to the idea that winning has to matter more than talent. It just does. When you're measured against your peers, the results also have to matter, especially when you're playing the most important position on the field. So by that measurement alone, Jalen Hurts is ahead of both of them because Jalen Hurts has played in a playoff game. Whether we can't give Aaron Rodgers credit for showing up. We can't give Jimmy Garoppolo credit for showing up, but not give Jalen Hurts credit for showing up. Like, you make the playoffs, you make it to the dance, that's account for something. Mm-hmm. We pay attention to how many times you've participated in playoff football. It matters. So he has played in a playoff game. Tua and Herbert haven't. I would also tend to lean to Tua's had to overcome way more than Herbert and Jalen Hurts, and has still been able to turn everything around and have the year that he's having. So I'm not going to disregard the numbers that Herbert put up in his first year. And to be clear, because I watch all this stuff, That was way early on Herbert. Nobody really liked Herbert coming out of college. After the Rose Bowl, I was like, nope, dude can play. He's going to have an amazing NFL career. He's the real deal. Whatever was going on in that offense wasn't working for him. Once he gets to the NFL and someone figures out how to use him, he's going to be great. So for everybody who's talking about how, we don't give Herbert the credit for his talent, he absolutely does. But this is why the Herbert to Jalen Hurts conversation gets so testy. Because I do feel like in some ways we're rewarding what we see over the actual results. And this is not a beauty pageant.
It's not. And even if it was, he wouldn't win that either. Dave Helman.
See, it is kind of a beauty pageant. And here's the thing. This is the way I look at it. I didn't put this list together. I did not talk to the fine folks over there who did. But when you're talking to me about best player under 25. I'm thinking about this in terms of, the NFL draft. That's the whole point. Who should you be most excited about? This is the next generation of young stars, guys who are exceeding far beyond their age, right? I mean, Micah Parsons is the #1 player on this list. He's halfway through his second season in the league.
Right.
It's insane. So when I think about that, I think Justin Herbert is a scheme-proof football player. And that ties into your whole thing about him looking good on social media. And why is that? It's because the guy was built in a lab to play football. He's 6'5". He's shockingly mobile for a gigantic white dude. He's got a cannon of an arm.
He does.
You can get him on the move. He can make every single throw from the pocket. Patrick Mahomes and maybe Aaron Rodgers on his day, those are the only 2 other quarterbacks in the league, for my money, that can make the range of throws that Justin Herbert can make.
Josh Allen, too.
Josh Allen, you're right. I'm sorry, Josh Allen. Forgot about you. My bad. Okay, it's a short list. How about that?
It's
a very short list of people who can do what that guy does. It's not a knock on Jalen Hurts and Tua Tagovailoa, but the story of this season, correct me if I'm wrong, is about how those coaching staffs and those organizations have designed things around them to maximize their talent. It's not to say that they're not talented guys. That's not my point. My point is, if I'm picking players, and it's, again, I use the playground analogy probably too much, but if we're on the playground and it's I don't know who my coach is, I don't know who my receivers are, I don't know what my line looks like, who do I want? I want Justin Herbert, and I'm sorry if that makes you feel some type of way.
That's kind of what this list is, though.
Correct.
Yeah, no, exactly, and that's why he's lit for his first on it.
The problem with it for me, Shady, is it's lazy.
Lazy?
It's lazy. I believe that we have to do more work as opinionists, analysts, TV people than just saying, I want the tallest, fastest, strongest arm dude.
Right.
No, I want the dude who can make it all add up into something. Okay. It's all fun and games if you go to the most expensive restaurant. But just because it's the most expensive don't mean it's going to taste the best. So that's my biggest issue with all of this.
So my thing is this, right? So you said do all this to get to with results. And I guess the results is like a playoff championship?
MVP, playoffs.
Okay, so better yet. So if we look at all these players, right, or the 3 quarterbacks, if I'm telling you that, I got more yards than you, I got more touchdowns than you, what else, what else are we talking about?
More throws. I would hope you have more yards and more touchdowns.
But then, if you have more throws. That's my thing. So, but no, too. Some guys that have more carries, I got more yards than, right? And we can't act like the stats don't matter. I feel like
they do matter.
But you guys act like the stats don't matter. That's all I'm saying.
What I'm saying is what matters.
He got twice as many touchdowns as Tua. How can we put – and I love Tua. I love his game. I love he's accurate. I love the way he's playing now. But let's not front here.
Let me do this.
I got double the amount of touchdowns you have. That sounds crazy.
You big boy, you staying there.
I'm ready.
Let's rock.
I'm ready.
Let's rock, big dog.
We never
let me answer this question for you.
Can I gritty?
So many people – gritty if you want to. Gritty if you want. Oh, I like them kicks. Gucci's.
Something like.
I see you, big dog. We ain't got to talk about it. Anyway, so many people try to say, well, Justin Herbert, he hasn't had the receivers this year. Look at the courses of their career, 2-5. That's what I want you at home, even you Chargers fans, pay attention to. Mike Williams has played 38 games. Okay. Eckler, 36 games. Keenan Allen, 33 games since Herbert was the quarterback. But then let's look at Tua or Jalen Hurts, because remember these numbers, 38, 36, 33. Okay. Now let's look at the big 3 of Jalen Hurts, for example. Devontae Smith, 26 games. Goddard, 26 games. A.J. Brown, 11 games. So wait a second. 36, 33, 38. And you got 21 wins? Keep in mind, Hurts has only played with Devontae, Goddard, and A.J. for 26 games, 11 wins. He made the playoffs. He has 19 wins. Let's talk about Tua. I don't want to talk about him no more. Let's talk about Tua. Tua's played with Gesicki for 29, Jalen Waddle for 20, Tyreek Hill for 9. You You've played with Tyreek Hill for 9 games, Waddle for 20, Gesicki for 29, and you have 21 wins. Of course, Herbert has more touchdown passes. He's had better dudes for longer. I'm not just talking about this year with Herbert. I'm talking body of work.
The first 2 years, right? So if you want to talk about the offense and the players, can we talk about the defense?
Sure. Talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Herbert's first 2 years, his defense is ranked 31st. Tua 15 and Jalen Hurts 10. That matters.
It does matter.
And, hold up, and let me stop me. And they're scoring more points, way more points. The Chargers are. So if I'm scoring more points than you, but my defense is trash and they not stopping nobody, what am I supposed to do?
Last year.
Hey, hold up. If you're a running back and I'm a running back, and I come in the league, right, I'm doing my thing, I have more yards than you and more touchdowns, what are we talking about?
If you have more carries, I would hope you have more yards and touchdowns. If you have more carries, I would hope you have more.
You got 1 Pro Bowl?
Herbert?
Here, 1 Pro
I got
Bowl.
1, I believe.
How many Tua got? Come on.
You have any?
How many Jalen got?
He ain't got any.
All that matters.
Who's in the MVP conversation?
My boy.
Exactly. Not Herbert. Not Herbert.
But we talking about their career. See, the thing is, I'm a Hurts guy.
Yes, sir. I know you
So this year he's balling.
Of course.
He's repping it. But we talking about their whole body of work, their whole career. I gotta look at Herbert.
Keep in mind, Herbert was great for a rookie.
Who was the rookie of the year?
A rookie.
Who was the rookie of the
not
year?
Player of the year.
What we talking about?
Hurts is in the conversation for player of the year.
You know what's crazy? It's really sad, though, because you really want to believe what you want to believe. But you know the truth. If you a linebacker, you come in the league, first of all, it's 3 other linebackers with you.
Yep.
Right? You get rookie defense player of the year. That matters.
Yep.
You got the most tackles ever from a linebacker in your first 2 years. And then you get the most sacks. How are you not better at that point?
Because if I'm not contributing to winning.
What's winning? Like, they're going to playoffs? We go to playoffs and what happens? That's the problem.
He's undefeated when he starts and
man.
finishes games. He's
about
10-1. He's 6-5.
You talking about this year? He been balling since he got in the league.
What is balling? Pick sixes? That's what he leads the league in. Since he got in the league, he leads the league in pick sixes.
Okay,
that's the one category he leads the league in.
My brother, you win.
That's all I wanted to hear. Coming up, JD, get your energy because you got to go crazy work next.
Ready.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.